Be prepared. Tomorrow isn't just another day on the calendar. January 14th, 2026 marks one of the most explosive astrological events we'll witness this year, a direct opposition between Mercury and Jupiter that's about to crack reality wide open. This isn't hyperbole. This isn't just another transit. What's happening tomorrow at 3:15 at night is a cosmic collision that only happens when the universe has something urgent to tell you. Mercury in Capricorn, the planet of communication, truth and cognition, is about to face off against Jupiter retrograde in Cancer in an opposition so precise, so powerful, that ancient astrologers would have marked this day with warnings. And if you've been waking up at strange hours lately, feeling like information is trying to download into your consciousness, keep watching. Because there's one specific reason why this is happening to you right now, and what I'm about to reveal will explain everything you've been experiencing this week. But first you need to understand something crucial. This isn't happening in isolation. We're in the middle of a cardinal T-square, a pressure cooker of cosmic energy that's been building since the start of January. The Sun, Mercury, Venus and Mars are all clustered in Capricorn, opposing Jupiter in Cancer, while Chiron in Aries watches from the sidelines, ready to trigger your deepest wounds. The explosion tomorrow. It's not destructive, it's revelatory. It's the moment when everything you've been sensing but couldn't articulate suddenly becomes crystal clear. The universe is about to tell you everything, but most people won't even realize they're receiving the transmission. The hidden choir is about to sing, and you can't stop it. There's an ancient symbol for the exact degree where Mercury sits tomorrow, a hidden choir singing during a religious service. Think about that for a moment. A choir you can't see, voices emerging from nowhere, a truth being sung that transcends the physical realm. This isn't just poetry, this is exactly what's about to happen in your consciousness tomorrow. Mercury at 19 degrees and 34 minutes Capricorn represents the voice of reality, the cold, hard facts, the structural truth of your life. But it's not speaking normally, it's revealing something that's been hidden. Meanwhile, Jupiter sits at the exact opposite point in Cancer, at a degree symbolized by Venetian gondoliers giving a serenade. This is the romantic story, the emotional narrative, the comforting illusion you've been telling yourself. And tomorrow, these two forces collide. The serenade, that beautiful lie you've been living, is about to be interrupted by the hidden choir of truth, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. The revelation isn't coming from outside you. It's been inside all along, waiting for this exact cosmic moment to emerge. Some of you have already been feeling it building, that strange pressure in your mind, like thoughts trying to break through. That sense that something important is on the tip of your tongue, but you can't quite grasp it. That's the hidden choir warming up. Tomorrow, it sings at full volume. Your body has been preparing for this explosion all week. Let me guess, you've been feeling it, haven't you? The exhaustion that sleep doesn't cure, the restlessness that meditation can't calm, the strange sensation that your body is vibrating at a different frequency than usual. This isn't random. Since January 9th, your system has been getting pummeled by cosmic energy. Venus opposed Jupiter, then the Sun opposed Jupiter, then Mars opposed Jupiter, all in rapid succession. It's like the universe has been stretching you like a rubber band, pulling you further and further until you're at your breaking point. And that's exactly where you need to be for tomorrow's revelation to land, because Mercury opposite Jupiter isn't just an intellectual event, it's a full-body experience. The truth doesn't just arrive in your mind, it reverberates through every cell of your being. Yesterday, Mars squared Chiron, activating the wound that's been holding you back. That frustration you felt, that sudden anger that seemed to come from nowhere, that was your soul's armor cracking, preparing to let the truth flood in. The universe doesn't do this lightly. It only creates this much pressure when something massive needs to break through. And what's breaking through tomorrow is information so important, so transformative, that your entire reality had to be softened up first to receive it. Some of you might have noticed strange physical sensations, pressure behind your eyes, a tightness in your throat, a heaviness in your chest. These aren't symptoms of illness. These are your chakras preparing for the download that's coming. The explosion happens at 3:15 at night, but you'll feel it all day. The exact opposition occurs at 3:15 at night, but don't be fooled. This isn't confined to a single moment. This is a 24-hour window where the veil between your conscious and unconscious mind becomes paper thin. Mercury in Capricorn is the ultimate realist. It looks at life through the lens of structure, responsibility, and cold, hard facts. It asks, what's the bottom line? What actually works? What's sustainable? It's the cosmic auditor, and tomorrow it's auditing your entire life. But Jupiter in Cancer, that's your emotional truth, your deepest needs, your ancestral wisdom, and it's retrograde, which means it's not looking forward, it's excavating the past, pulling up buried treasures and hidden traumas from the depths of your psyche. When these two forces oppose each other, it creates what I call a truth bomb. The facts of your life, Mercury, can no longer ignore the feelings you've suppressed, Jupiter. The plan you've been following, Capricorn, suddenly has to account for what your soul actually needs, Cancer. This is why tomorrow feels like an explosion. It's not violent, it's revelatory. It's the moment when two parts of yourself that have been operating separately are forced to acknowledge each other. And in that acknowledgement, the truth emerges. The timing isn't random either. 3:15 at night is in the heart of what mystics call the hour of the soul, that time between 2 and 4 a.m. when the barrier between dimensions is weakest. If you find yourself suddenly awake at this time, pay attention. The universe might be delivering your message directly. Why some people will break tomorrow and others will break through. Not everyone is ready for this level of truth. Tomorrow's energy doesn't discriminate. It hits everyone, but how you receive it depends entirely on how you've been living. If you've been authentic, if you've been facing your shadows, if you've been doing the work, tomorrow brings breakthrough. The revelation feels like relief, like finally understanding something that's been confusing you for months or even years. The pieces click into place and suddenly you see the path forward with crystal clarity. But if you've been hiding, if you've been lying to yourself, if you've been avoiding the obvious, tomorrow might feel like breaking. The comfortable illusions shatter, the false narrative crumbles, the performance you've been maintaining becomes impossible to continue. And here's the thing most people don't understand. Both experiences are gifts. Whether you break or break through, the universe is doing you a favor. It's showing you exactly where you've been stuck and giving you the information you need to move forward. The Capricorn stellium has been building a case based on reality. Every planet in that sign, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, has been gathering evidence about what's actually happening in your life. Meanwhile, Jupiter in Cancer has been holding space for what you emotionally need to be true. Tomorrow, these two realities collide, and in that collision, the truth emerges. Not the truth you want, not the truth you fear, the actual truth, the kind that sets you free, even if it hurts first. The cardinal T-square, why this isn't just about Mercury and Jupiter. Here's what nobody's talking about. This Mercury-Jupiter opposition isn't happening in isolation. It's the trigger point of a massive cardinal T-square that's been building all month. Chiron in Aries sits at the apex of this configuration, watching the Mercury-Jupiter showdown from a 90-degree angle. This isn't just a referee, it's an activator. Chiron represents your core wound, the place where you feel most vulnerable, most inadequate, most afraid to assert yourself. The opposition between Mercury and Jupiter creates tremendous tension, the facts versus the feelings, the plan versus the need, the structure versus the emotion. And all that tension has to go somewhere. It flows directly to Chiron, activating your deepest insecurity. This is why tomorrow's revelation might hurt before it heals. The truth that emerges doesn't just inform you, it challenges you. It asks, now that you know this, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue hiding behind your wound, or are you finally ready to heal? The cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, are the initiators of the zodiac. They don't just bring awareness, they demand action. This isn't a gentle nudge from the universe. This is a cosmic shove. You're being pushed to start something new, to take leadership of your life, to stop waiting for permission. And the beautiful thing about a T-square is that it's dynamic. It doesn't let you stay stuck. The pressure builds and builds until something has to give. And tomorrow, that something is your resistance to the truth. Your dreams tonight will be prophetic. Don't ignore them. The night before and after this opposition, January 13th and 14th, your dream state becomes a direct line to the cosmic intelligence. This isn't normal dreaming. This is your unconscious mind preparing to receive tomorrow's download. Jupiter in Cancer rules the emotional realm, the maternal principle, the ancestral memories. When it opposes Mercury, those deep emotional truths rise to the surface through dreams. You might dream of your childhood home, of family members you haven't thought about in years, of situations that feel familiar even though they never happened. Pay attention to the feeling of these dreams, not just the content. The emotion they evoke is the message. Are you feeling trapped? That's Jupiter showing you where you've outgrown your emotional comfort zone. Are you feeling nostalgic? That's your soul showing you what genuinely matters. Some of you might experience what I call download dreams, those strange experiences where you feel like you're receiving information but can't quite remember the details when you wake up. That's Mercury in Capricorn, delivering structural upgrades to your consciousness. You might not remember the specifics, but the information is being integrated. Keep a journal beside your bed. Write down whatever you remember, no matter how fragmentary or bizarre. These aren't just dreams, they're previews of the revelation that's coming. The universe often delivers its most important messages when our conscious mind can't interfere. The information overload is real. Here's how to handle it. When Mercury opposes Jupiter, information doesn't trickle, it floods. Jupiter expands everything it touches, and when it touches Mercury, the planet of communication and thought, the result is an overwhelming influx of data. Tomorrow you might feel like your mind is a browser with too many tabs open, thoughts racing, ideas cascading, connections forming faster than you can process them. Old memories suddenly make sense. Future possibilities suddenly seem clear. Everything feels significant, urgent, important. This is what I call the Mercury-Jupiter download, and it can be overwhelming if you're not prepared. Your mind might feel like it's going to explode from all the insights, revelations, and realizations hitting at once. Here's what you need to know. You don't have to process everything immediately. The universe isn't expecting you to understand it all at once. Think of tomorrow as receiving a massive file download. It arrives all at once, but you unpack it over time. Some of the information might not even make sense until weeks or months from now. You might receive an insight tomorrow that seems random, only to realize later that it was exactly what you needed to know for a situation that hadn't even occurred yet. The key is to document everything. Write it down, voice record it, capture it somehow. Don't try to edit or make sense of it in the moment. Just receive it. The integration comes later. Why secrets can't survive this transit? Mercury opposite Jupiter has a very specific signature. It reveals secrets, not through investigation or discovery, but through an inability to maintain the facade any longer. The secrets that come out tomorrow aren't necessarily dramatic or scandalous. Sometimes they're simply truths that have been politely ignored. The job you've been pretending to love, the relationship you've been pretending is fine, the dream you've been pretending doesn't matter. Mercury in Capricorn demands accountability. It's the cosmic auditor, and it's reviewing everything with a cold, clear eye. Meanwhile, Jupiter in Cancer holds all your emotional truth, all the feelings you've been suppressing in the name of being practical. When these two face off, the secret can no longer be maintained. The cost of the lie becomes greater than the cost of the truth. And suddenly, words start spilling out. Conversations you've been avoiding suddenly happen. Truths you've been hiding suddenly emerge. This might happen to you, or it might happen through you. You might find yourself suddenly confessing something you've been holding back, or someone in your life might suddenly reveal something that changes everything. Either way, remember this: secrets revealed under this transit are meant to come out. This is the universe's way of clearing the air, of creating space for authentic connection, of removing the barriers between who you pretend to be and who you actually are. The 48-hour window of transformation. While the exact opposition happens tomorrow, the effects ripple outward in both directions. From January 13th to January 15th, you're in what I call the revelation window, a period where truth flows more freely than usual. During this window, pay attention to everything: the random conversation with a stranger, the song that suddenly gets stuck in your head, the book that falls off the shelf, the number sequences you keep seeing. These aren't coincidences, they're breadcrumbs leading you toward your revelation. The universe doesn't always speak in clear, direct language. Sometimes it speaks in symbols, synchronicities, and seemingly random events that only make sense when you see the pattern. Tomorrow's opposition gives you the ability to see the pattern. You might notice that certain themes keep repeating. Multiple people might bring up the same topic. You might see the same message from different sources. This is the universe making sure you don't miss the memo. When the same truth approaches you from multiple angles, it's impossible to ignore. This is also a window where your words carry extra weight. What you say tomorrow has the power to shift timelines, to change relationships, to open or close doors. Choose your words carefully, but don't silence yourself out of fear. The truth wants to be spoken. Your life path is being audited by the universe. Think of tomorrow as a cosmic performance review. Mercury in Capricorn is the strict boss, reviewing your life's productivity, your structures, your long-term sustainability. It's asking hard questions. Is this working? Is this building towards something real? Is this aligned with your true purpose? Meanwhile, Jupiter in Cancer is like your soul's advocate, reminding the universe of your emotional needs, your right to feel safe, your requirement for nurturing and care. It's saying, yes, but what about how this feels? What about what the heart needs? The revelation that emerges from this opposition is the result of this cosmic negotiation. You're being shown exactly where your life is out of balance, where you've sacrificed too much for success, or where you've let comfort keep you from growth. Some of you will realize you've been climbing the wrong mountain entirely. The career path that looked perfect on paper suddenly reveals itself as a soul-crushing mistake. Others will realize they've been playing too small, letting fear of failure keep them from their true calling. This audit isn't punishment, it's guidance. The universe is showing you where adjustments need to be made, where course corrections are required. It's like having a cosmic GPS recalculating your route based on your soul's true destination. The moment of choice, you can't stay neutral. Here's what makes tomorrow so powerful: it forces a choice. When Mercury and Jupiter oppose each other, you can't stay in the middle. You can't continue balancing between two realities. You have to choose. Will you choose the practical path, Mercury in Capricorn, or the emotional truth, Jupiter in Cancer? Will you prioritize security or fulfillment, structure or flow, the plan or the feeling? But here's the secret. The real choice isn't between Mercury and Jupiter. It's about integration. The explosion happens when these two forces collide, but the breakthrough comes when you realize they're not actually opposites. They're complementary. Your practical reality needs to honor your emotional truth. Your emotional needs require practical structure to manifest. The revelation tomorrow isn't asking you to choose one over the other. It's showing you how they can work together. This is the evolution the universe is pushing you toward, not the cold practicality of Capricorn alone, nor the emotional overwhelm of Cancer alone, but the wisdom that emerges when both are honored. What happens after the explosion? January 14th isn't an ending, it's a beginning. The truth bomb that drops tomorrow sets off a chain reaction that continues for weeks, even months. On January 16th, Mercury squares Chiron, taking the revelation from the 14th and pushing it straight into your core wound. This isn't cruelty, it's surgery. The truth revealed on the 14th becomes the medicine for healing on the 16th. Then on January 18th, Mercury conjuncts Mars, and suddenly you have the power to act on what you've learned. The revelation becomes revolution. The awareness becomes action. What seemed impossible before the 14th suddenly feels not just possible, but necessary. This is followed by a new moon in Capricorn on the same day, giving you a cosmic reset button. You get to start fresh, but this time with the truth as your foundation. No more building on illusions, no more constructing your life on false premises. And all of this is preparing you for something even bigger. Neptune entering Aries on January 26th, marking the beginning of a 14-year cycle of spiritual pioneering. The revelation you receive tomorrow is preparing you for this massive shift. You're not just receiving information tomorrow, you're receiving your marching orders for the new era that's about to begin. The rising sign factor, where your explosion happens. The Mercury-Jupiter explosion hits everyone, but where it hits depends on your rising sign. This determines which area of your life gets illuminated, which structures get audited, which secrets get revealed. If you're an Aries or Libra rising, this hits your career versus home axis. The revelation might be about work-life balance, about family secrets affecting your profession, or about realizing your ambition has cost you your sanctuary. Taurus and Scorpio rising feel this in your belief systems and communication. The way you think, the way you speak, what you believe to be true, all of it gets challenged. Old philosophies crumble, new understanding emerges. Gemini and Sagittarius rising experience this in your resources and shared resources. Money secrets surface. The true cost of dependencies is revealed. You see exactly where you're undervaluing yourself or over-relying on others. Cancer and Capricorn rising. This is personal. It's about you versus others, self versus partnership. Relationship dynamics that have been unspoken suddenly become undeniable. You can't pretend anymore about who you are or what you need. Leo and Aquarius rising feel this in your subconscious and daily routine. Hidden patterns become visible. Health issues connected to suppressed emotions surface. The spiritual and physical can no longer be separated. Virgo and Pisces rising experience this in your creativity and community. The tension between personal expression and group belonging reaches a breaking point. You realize you've been dimming your light for others' comfort. You're being prepared for something bigger. Tomorrow's explosion isn't random, it's not isolated, it's part of a larger cosmic orchestration that's been in motion since the beginning of 2026. The universe is preparing you for a massive shift, and tomorrow's revelation is a crucial piece of that preparation. Think about it. Why would the universe create this much pressure, this much tension, this much explosive potential, unless something incredibly important was at stake? You're not going through this intensity for a minor adjustment. You're being prepared for a quantum leap. The truth that emerges tomorrow is exactly what you need to know to navigate what's coming. It might feel overwhelming in the moment, but later you'll understand why you needed to know it now, why the timing was perfect, why the explosion was necessary. The universe doesn't waste energy. Every transit, every aspect, every cosmic event serves a purpose, and tomorrow's purpose is to ensure you're operating from truth as you move into the next chapter of your evolution. Some of you are about to step into your purpose in ways you never imagined. Others are about to release patterns that have held you back for lifetimes. But none of it can happen if you're still operating from illusion. Tomorrow's explosion clears the illusion, reveals the truth, and sets you free. The final hours before everything changes. As I record this, we're in the final hours before one of the most significant astrological events of 2026. The energy is already building. Can you feel it? That electricity in the air, that sense of anticipation, that knowing that something big is about to shift. Your soul has been preparing for this. Every challenge you've faced, every lesson you've learned, every moment of growth has been leading to this revelation. You're ready for this. even if you don't feel ready. Remember, tomorrow's explosion isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The universe isn't punishing you with truth, it's liberating you with it. What feels like destruction is actually construction. What feels like ending is actually beginning. The hidden choir is about to sing, the serenade is about to be interrupted, the performance is about to end, and reality is about to begin. Are you ready to hear what the universe has been waiting to tell you? Because tomorrow, January 14th, at 3:15 at night, the cosmic silence breaks. Mercury and Jupiter face off across the zodiac, creating an explosion of truth that reverberates through every level of existence. The universe is about to tell you everything. The only question is, are you ready to listen? If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.